Women are learning the hard way that you can't give your best years to the worst men. Then just expect the good men to wait around until you're getting old and finally find a use for them. Doesn't work that way. Real men don't settle for the leftovers of lesser men. As long as social media continues to exist in its free-for-all form, humanity will continue its death spiral of debauchery and selfishness. You cannot have the big-picture civilized society without the foundation of a community that starts with intact families being the norm, not the exception. The sanctity of relationships. Traditionally, marriage was a way for families and tribes to join together and become powerful, instead of having to worry about attacking each other. By arranging a marriage, the families and tribes could team up to defend themselves against other families and tribes. The ones that were really good at these arrangements eventually became noble houses and in some cases royalty, depending on the country. Marriage had absolutely nothing to do with love until the Romanticism era of the 1700s. That's not to say that a husband and wife couldn't fall in love with each other, but the primary purpose of marriage was to increase power and cement an alliance between two groups of people. But if you think about it, marriage is still the same throughout history, and even today the concept hasn't changed. The ones that changed are the women, the feminists who made marriage null and void. Marriages today lack intimacy. Physical intimacy is a key component of a healthy partnership. You can't help but fear that your spouse no longer finds you attractive or is having an affair when the passion and closeness in your marriage disappear. There will be gaps in your marriage if intimacy is lacking, which could result in a potential loss of verbal and emotional communication with your spouse. Stress, low self-esteem, rejection, and resentment are core causes of a lack of intimacy in marriage, traditionally speaking. But now, we have a bunch of other causes, such as the woke feminist narrative that perpetuates an anti-male agenda and tells women they are empowered because they can deny men any intimacy. This has also resulted in men going their own way, or the MGTOW movement that basically has reduced the number of men who want to be in a marriage with women in the first place. A 2019 survey found that 19% of 659 couples were engaged in what is known as a marriage without intimacy. Most of the couples in this category had only had intimate moments once or twice in the previous year, and several of them claimed to have gone longer than a year without engaging in any kind of intimate activity. Comparatively, 25% of the couples reported being intimate every week, while 21% said they enjoyed intimacy a few times a week, which is a good amount of intimate activity. Around 35% of the couples had had intimacy 1 to 3 times each month in their happy marriage. Simply put, ladies are no longer inspired to engage in intimate activities with their husbands. It is the fault of men who don't expect them to maintain the conduct that got them the ring in the first place, if she even earned it, because they assume it's over once they have the ring. Guys, the moment you cross the bridge from having a girlfriend to a wife, your level of intimacy will statistically decrease. Western women aren't the best partners anymore. The fact that Western spouses behave the worst in the world is an established fact. They are snobby, they moan, and as I previously mentioned, they cease giving up, and when they do, it's with a lack of enthusiasm. Keep in mind that is starfish intimacy. Wives don't do you any favors while you're out in public. Women just care about how much money you can put in their wallets. Because they have power, wives behave badly. You will lose influence if you marry her. The instant you sign your life away on that marriage certificate, she knows she has you by the balls, and especially when you get her pregnant. Divorce or not, at least financially, guys are trapped with a woman for life. And when a man announces to his mates that he's getting married because the girl wore him down, his homeboys know it is the start of the end. They are aware that 7 years, 3 children, and 2 extramarital relationships later, he will have to cope with an obese, sassy woman who controls him in all respects. Women realize that girlfriends have to work more than spouses, and men know that girlfriends are better than husbands. Women nowadays, it is well known, prefer the pyramid scheme dynamic. Get paid every day for the labor you perform once, 1 honest session of intimacy, 1 child, and get a decent lawyer to take half his stuff, and the woman can basically live the rest of her life chilling and vacationing. Marriage is a modern-day trap for men. Why should a man avoid marriage? Because there's nothing in it for him. When there's no reason to do something, Then it becomes necessary to do nothing. The most common reason advanced for men to get married is because unlimited free intimacy is thought to be in a woman's package of things she brings to the marriage. Nothing could be further from the truth. Immediately after she gets her ring and he signs his death certificate in the minister's office after saying some I do's in front of family members, she starts the withdrawal from intimacy process, and by the end of the first year of marriage, his intimate life is essentially at an end. The freebie intimacy in marriage turns out to be the most expensive a man will ever pay for. And once he starts paying through the nose, he continues to pay for the last physical relationship he ever had, for about 18 years or more after the divorce is finalized. Getting married to a woman is essentially doing her a favor by taking a load of life off her shoulders. Marriage is the gift that keeps on taking. After hearing one man after another describe how horribly he was treated in divorce court, and considering that 50% of marriages end in divorce, why would any rational man want to take on that kind of risk and get married? The state of modern women. Too many women these days, even much younger ones, are self-absorbed and self-centered, amongst other things. There is rarely calm at home with modern women. Case in point, an example if it may. When I was much younger, in my late teens and earlier 20s, we had a group of friends we all hung out with. There were these two drop-dead gorgeous women a part of the group. They had all the looks and lines to say nailed down to get any guy they wanted, and they used it to their advantage. They got it all. However, fast forward a few years, I happened to bump into one of them. A total dump, I tell you. In her late 30s, she looked just like a zombie, and no one wanted to be around her. Has nothing, not even a car. I can feel sorry for her. She was warned, but didn't listen. Oh well. As for the other woman, heard she passed away from drug abuse, again sorry, but lived a lifestyle of chasing after false gods, false ideals, whatever you want to call it. You will end up alone and or dead. You have an 80% chance of a wife taking you to the cleaners, and a 20% chance of her using you as the claimed father of a child that is not yours. And they go through changes in life that will drive them nuts, especially when they go through menopause. And they always want to be entertained and for you to read their minds. Stay single, save your money and your sanity. Marry your goals and deepest aspirations. Work hard, very hard to achieve your goals. And when reached, set higher ones. Enjoin yourself with modern women at your own risk and peril. Statistically, the risk right now is quite high and rather adversarial to your long-term physical and financial well-being, including but not limited to the potential for losing your freedom and reputation. No woman is worth that, not even a perfect 10. The problem with many women and a few beta men is that they have not excelled in physical fitness and spiritual fitness to be declared as marriage material. Handling relationships with average intellect, finance, and emotional drama is how marriages are running in 90% of homes on the planet. This is like building dreams on the foundation of sand and not reinforced concrete. Very shaky personalities in one or both members cause the rubber band to stretch and break at some point. Having commitment, a growth mindset, and foundations of well-being, health and fitness in physical, intellectual, financial, social, and spiritual realms is a must to qualify for marriage. Marriages happened in close-knit communities where the family elders held the newly married couples to standards and accountability. There was no blind interference of the court system with women-centric and supporting laws. Today, men are not interested in a binding contract where they are most likely to lose everything. Until women are held to the same level of accountability, they can continue to break their glass ceiling, while men will continue to enjoy their hard-earned money. Men are reminding women that we've been independent for far much longer and have not forgotten how to enjoy it. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.